Hey everybody, it's Randy Ray, the Literate Texan, and tonight I have another book review for you. I just finished For Love of the Game by Michael Shaara, which was published in 1991. You may have seen the movie. It starred Kevin Costner. The movie was fairly faithful to the book, although honestly it kind of expanded on it. It's a really short book. It was only 160 pages or so. I've got the cover here. I read it on the Kindle. And you can see there's a baseball player on there. I like movies about baseball. I like books about baseball. I like baseball games. So here's my review of For Love of the Game. It does include spoilers, so be ready for that. Yeah, if you don't want it spoiled, wait till after you've seen the movie and or read the book to watch this review. So the premise behind For Love of the Game, well, first of all, let's talk about a couple of things. Michael Shaara, I'm not sure which way you pronounce it, is most famous for winning the Pulitzer Prize for a novel called The Killer Angels, which is about the Civil War. And I read part of that earlier this year, but I didn't finish it. Not because it was a bad book, mostly just because I just didn't finish it. I'll probably come back to it. It was really good. But this particular novel was found, I believe, by his son and published after he died. So I was surprised when I saw that Michael Shaara had written For Love of the Game, because I'd always really liked the movie. The movie came out in 1999. But if a movie's got baseball and Kevin Costner in it, and there are a few of those out there, Field of Dreams, Bull Durham, For Love of the Game, I'm probably going to like it. Not everybody liked the movie For Love of the Game, but I thought it was really good. So I wanted to talk about that first, the author. And then the second thing I wanted to talk about was the premise of the book. So the premise of the book is that Billy Chappell, he's coming up on retirement age for a pitcher in the major leagues. He's probably in his late 30s, early 40s, something like that. And he just finds out that he's been traded. And he's playing for a fictional team, but they're playing against the New York Yankees. But he just finds out that he's going to be traded, and he's played for the same team for something like 15 or 20 years, which is unusual even then. But not only does he realize that basically his career is over because he's not going to keep playing baseball after he gets traded, but he's got this on-again, off-again girlfriend named Carol. And Carol has decided to get married. He's always kept things really light and casual with her, and vice versa. She's done the same with him. But she's reached a point in her life where she's decided she wants to get married. So he's dealing with the end of his career and the end of his longest running relationship with this woman that frankly he loves. So the most of the novel is told from his perspective. It's all internal dialogue from Billy Chappell, the pitcher, as the game is going on. And it's got kind of a stream of consciousness style, which was a little off-putting at first, but once I got used to it, I decided I actually really liked. And so half the book is flashbacks of his courtship of and romance with this woman, Carol, while the other half of the book is about him pitching this perfect game, okay? So I like baseball, but I'm not super smart about baseball, so I had to look up this concept of a perfect game and a no-hitter, okay? So for those of you who aren't familiar enough with baseball to know what those are, I just learned what they are, but I also wanted to know how rare they were, okay? So a no-hitter is a baseball game where the other team doesn't get to record any hits, okay? This is extremely rare by itself. I guess since 1876, there have been maybe 322 no-hitters, which sounds like it might be a lot until you think about the fact that there's been 235,000 professional baseball games played since 1876. So what that means is your chances of seeing a no-hitter are roughly about 1 in 1,000 if you go to a baseball game. A perfect game, on the other hand, is even rarer than a no-hitter, because there's other ways to get on base than hitting a ball, okay? So in a perfect game, the other team never even manages to get on base. And that's even rarer than a no-hitter. A perfect game, there have been 22 perfect games since 1876, which means the odds of you catching a perfect game are about 1 in 10,000, which is, that's starting to get like odds of getting struck by lightning odds. So this is an unusual event that this pitcher is going through. And he doesn't even realize that he's pitching a perfect game until he's like 6 or 7 innings into it. So that was really interesting. And I did, there's a way to see what you've highlighted here. I did highlight some stuff here. And, okay, so I liked this one a lot. I highlighted this passage right here. This is about a third of the way into the book, and this is his thinking as he's going through the game. From this game, the game that mattered, this one today, always the one that mattered. The next one, the one not played, not yet, the one we wait for, today. So there's a lot of this staying in the moment kind of thinking, which is probably appropriate for baseball pitcher, but it also gives you a good idea of the style of the language that you're going to see here. Then on page 60, I've got another passage highlighted that I thought was good. Win the last one. Why does it matter so much? Don't know, but it does. But all you can do is your best. I'll do that. Only a game. But today I'll throw it all. I'll throw all that's left because there's nothing to save anymore. No more rest to take anymore. Today. See, the whole today thing is a big theme in here. So, I don't remember the context for this, but I highlighted it too. It said that Chappell's talking to, Billy Chappell's the main character. He's talking to the catcher, who's the other main character. Really, Billy Chappell's the main character all the way through. But Gus is like the main supporting character, and then Carol is a supporting character. The rest of the characters are pretty unimportant. Now, in the movie, they get a little bit more important, but basically it's still a one-man show. But Chappell said, mystified, that was always the point. Have fun. Enjoy. But if you start to care for something, when you begin to care, that's what hurts you. He stood up, shaking his head. The thing you care for, that's where the real pain comes from. And I believe he's talking about his relationship with Carol there, but he's also talking about baseball. Let's see here. I think that might have been all I had highlighted. Okay, this was really good passage too. I thought this was great. He's reflecting on his career and how he's going to have to change, and there's probably a big difference between being a baseball player and a pitcher and being a retired baseball player and pitcher, and he's probably aware of this. But he says, why can't a man just reach the high point and then explode in Technicolor in his chosen place on his chosen day? So I thought that was a really good passage too. I thought I was only going to rate this 3 stars until I got to the end, but the author stuck the landing so well that I went ahead and gave it 4 stars. I thought it was a really solid book. I'm not sure that everybody's going to have the same experience reading the book as I did. I saw a really weird 1-star review said that it was completely unrealistic and extremely manipulative too. And I don't know where the idea... Sorry, my dog was growling about something. But I don't know where the idea that it was unrealistic came from. He never explained what was unrealistic, so I didn't think that was a very good review. But, a lot of movies and books aren't realistic. That doesn't necessarily warrant a 1-star review, in my opinion, anyway. So, anyway, that's another one for Shorty September. For Love of the Game by Michael Shaara. I recommend it if you like baseball or internal dialogue, that sort of thing, or the idea of coming to the end of your career. And I will be back with more videos soon. Thanks for watching.